Hey everyone, welcome Fridays with Dannphan. I'm back, which you probably guessed based on the fact that I actually uploaded videos this week. Yay! In regards to the last live stream, if you were worried about that, worry no longer. Laptop stuff figured out. Everything is in top condition now. I am starting this live stream, Friday live stream, a little bit later than usual. Part of the reason for that is just because I was out dress shopping for a wedding coming up, and yeah, it took a little bit longer than anticipated. But granted, we started kind of late. We were kind of squeezing the time. So I partially expected to finally do the Friday live stream a little bit later than usual, but 30 minutes late isn't that bad. Could be worse. I mean, some people pop into the live stream 30 minutes late, so not too shabby. Yeah. It's a family wedding, so I have dresses, of course, but if I want to be polite, I'll get a new fancy dress just for the wedding. I'm not even quite sure if we're 100% keeping this one either. There's a chance I might turn it back or return it. Something's wrong with my brain. But yeah, for now, this is the dress I'm going with. It's nice. Yeah, it's whatever. We'll see. Good evening. I'm watching you from Brazil. Well, hello there, Brazil. How you guys doing? Did you see the Super Bowl ads this week? No, I didn't. It's funny. I hear like the Super Bowl is happening and it's just one of those things that because I'm not living with my parents anymore, I'm completely out of the Super Bowl loop because nobody here is particularly a sports fan. Like, I know Super Bowl is a big event, but it's much bigger if you're like surrounded by people who actually are interested in the sport. And I can watch it. I can have it on and I can cheer, but it's not something that I'm going to necessarily go out of my way to dedicate time to. If I have the choice, I'll rather just work on my comic stuff as opposed to spend the time watching football, or maybe even like spend the time watching anime as opposed to football. Priorities and whatnot. What to do? Hey, Fresher Luke in the chat. Everyone say hi. Did you watch the Super Mario plumbing commercial? I did. That's a funny reference they threw in there to what was it? The Super Show, Super Old Mario Super Show, whatever. I guess it was like one of the first, if not the first, Mario cartoon spin-offs with the live action. Nobody really liked it though, and I watched a little bit of it, and I didn't think it was horrifically bad. But yes, I agree that it could be better, of course. But I don't know. It's a fun reference, regardless. Just to be like, yeah, we know about that show's existence. But yeah, and I guess it kind of fits too, right? Because it's like a Mario rap. So it's still like somewhat relevant in modern day, that it would be like, oh yeah, this could totally work for a super corny Mario Brothers commercial where they're trying to sell their plumbing services. Yeah, of course they would do a Mario rap. Makes sense. Good way of introducing that reference without making it too too obvious that it's just insert reference here as opposed to, you know. Are you familiar with Red Letter Media? I'm curious if you know or have watched their videos. I think I've seen a couple of their videos. I'm not a subscriber, if that's what you're asking. I'm not really a consistent watcher or anything. More like sometimes, you know, sometimes I'll put it on, but not very often, though. Did you call the Mario plumbing number? Spoilers, you hear Luigi's voice because the marketing is trying so hard to avoid Chris Pratt. Man. I didn't know that you could actually call the number. That's cute, though. That is actually kind of cute. We all know 3 Mario cartoons exist. Was there ever a Mario Bros. Anime? Good question. I imagine that they did like Mario Brothers, like short animated stuff. I don't know if there was like a full actual from Japan anime based on the Mario Brothers, though. There was a Super Mario Bros. Anime, a whole movie actually, and fans have recently dubbed the whole thing as on YouTube. Really? Let me see. Mario Bros. Anime. Oh, I have seen this before. Oh. Okay, let me share the screen so you can see what I'm reacting to. Window. Tab. There we go. Oh dear. It could look worse. That's not that bad. At least they're expressive, right? Yeah. Oh my god. What is going on with Luigi's colors? I hate it. What is this? Green, yellow, and blue? Disgusting. Fire them. Hate it. Nah. But I mean, other than that, whatever. It's yeah, there we go. There you go. Mario anime. Oh man, the toads are looking a little chunky over here. You know, I think I like the toads better when they're wearing clothes, actually. Okay, so Princess Peach has a prince. Is that where we're going with? This is back when the idea was that Mario and Peach didn't actually have a thing together, but rather instead he had like a girlfriend back at home. Or, you know, his girl was a different girl from like the first Jumpman game where he has to like save his girlfriend from Donkey Kong. And then as time went on, you know, you kept on saving Princess Peach, so I guess people just assumed that they were together now, and then they ended up making that canon. Oh man, the Mario lore, am I right? Oh, I remember this scene. This was a good scene. Yeah. All right, well, I guess that's enough of that. Toads, more like chodes. Ha! Got him. Luigi's costume wears the green. I know, right? Terrible. No good. It's a backpack, Trish. Still, not good color combinations. You can make the backpack match with your color combinations. Did you hear about Super Mario Kun manga? I've read a Mario Bros. Like comic before that was originally in Japanese and then translated over. I don't know if that's maybe that was it. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Once again, share screen here. Nah, I think this is way more chibi than the one that I read. I mean, it's a style. If you want to do Mario in that style, go for it. Whatever works, you know? I don't have a big problem with that. But, yeah. Mario is married to the grind, yeah. That's it. What's with all the Mario in the comments? Did something happen that I missed? Oh, they just like a new Mario teaser or whatever you want to call it came out. So that's why we're all talking about Mario. But yeah. Other than that, we got what else happening today? Hey, in regards to comic news, I've sold 72 print copies so far. Woo! For that, I will reward you with some comic book ASMR. Yeah, that's good shit. You like that? Yeah. All right. So that's all you get. You gotta earn the rest. Thank you. It's not like getting a job with you was so funny, by the way. I want a second volume. Oh man, I'll have to put that on the to-do list then. Some people are like, it's perfect as is, right? It's good as the one-shot story, and I shouldn't continue it. But I do have like ideas for continuing it if I did want to, you know? I always usually keep that option open just because I don't know what I'm going to be doing in the future, what's going to work and what's going to not work. Gotta always plan for those types of things. If I super commit really hard to a comic that just flops while another comic is doing well, it just makes more sense logically to do a sequel for the comic doing well rather than the comic that flopped, you know? Speaking of flop. All right, that's all you get. Lunch break's over. Gotta go. Catch up with you later. Comic ASMR full-length video win. Hey, somebody's got to do it. If it's gonna be me, then I guess I have to step up. I gotta step up to the challenge and get the comic ASMR videos out there. Yeah. I gotta say, the next video that I did work on, I worked on it, I guess, a while ago. It's another Webtoon read-through, and it's just the worst. Like, it's just awful. If we're gonna be, like, completely honest, oh boy. I'm thinking if I do release that video, it's gotta be, like, mega short, so that my audience doesn't suffer that much. At least not as much as I suffered trying to get through it. I didn't get that far into it, of course, because I have standards for how much I torture myself. But, jeez. I'm not... Some of the stuff on Webtoon is just like, man, you really gotta make sure you know what... You gotta, like, read the Webtoon before you let your kids read it, you know? That's really what it is, what it comes down to at the end of the day. And if you have to read every single Webtoon before your kid is allowed to read it, at that point, you might as well just be buying books. You might as well just be buying books for them and keeping them far, far away from Webtoon. Because, fuck, my God, Webtoon, what the fuck is wrong with you? Ugh. And then there's like a bunch of other crap on Webtoon that I'm not even sure if I should do read-throughs of, but some people have requested it. Lore Olympus is like kind of up there. And Let's Play People talk about those webtoons pretty lowly, like kind of on the same level or around the same level as the Princess's Jewels, with just being immoral, degenerate crap. So, but yeah, is it just me, or do those pages sound pretty nice and thick? Hey, they're not too shabby. They're good stuff. This is a 32-page floppy, so it's thicker than your normal floppies. It's not too shabby. It's good. Screw webtoons. Show them DeviantArt. Are there any webtoons that you think are actually good? Though your bad webtoons videos are always the best. Haha. There's a couple on Canvas that are not so bad, but you really have to dig deep to find them, because they're all so hidden. It's like when you first publish your webtoon, you'll get on like the algorithm, or the recommends, but like practically the next day, if you're not performing like super well immediately, they'll just chuck you for the next thing that just got uploaded. And because of that, it's just harder. It's harder to find stuff. And it's always just crap. It's always just crap that gets promoted more than anything else. Like, you can pay to have your webcomic promoted on the front page of Webtoon, and it's always people that just like really overcommitted to doing a webcomic and are very clearly not ready for it, but they just want some instant success. So they like buy some fake numbers and then get really disappointed when you don't actually have fans. It's just a whole shit show, really. It's just like kind of sad. But there are some good ones. There are some okay ones. There are some ones out there that are not degenerate crap. It's just the Webtoon originals are what really gets me, is when they're webtoons that they paid to create, as opposed to other stuff that more so deserved the opportunity. Instead, what Webtoon wants to put their name on is just always garbage. It's just almost always really horrible stuff. And yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I have a very low opinion of them as like a company because of that. Because they have very low standards. And yeah. I do know that Lore Olympus has paperback publishing. Yes. It's the only way they could possibly make money on it, because you know that the ad revenue is shit. Your last Webtoon video is really funny. Oh yeah, that one I did with Blacklight Jack. We did the Princess's Jewels read through together. That was pretty fun. It's nice to read it through someone else to like bounce off of them, as opposed to just sitting in a dark room by yourself. It's just you and the Webtoon staring into your soul. Hard to stay sane, I gotta be honest with you. Yeah, are there any alternative sites besides Webtoon if I were to upload my manga online? Some people I know upload their manga to Pixiv. I don't really... Well, my last computer got nuked, so I don't really have the account on here. I would have to like relog in and figure out my password and stuff like that. But yeah, so I haven't really been keeping up with Pixiv, but that's mostly just because everything just got nuked on my last computer. But not Tapas. Tapas is just as fucking bad as Webtoon. At one point it was worse, believe it or not. I did a whole video way back, just basically called Softcore Tapastic, because it used to be called Tapastic, now it's called Tapas. I don't know if that's like their attempt to rebrand themselves, but not working. especially when it sounds exactly the same. But yeah, just a lot of softcore porn on there, just trying to get people who are horny onto their website because it's the only way they get clicks, which just reeks of desperation. And once again, degeneracy, because eventually you're just going to be known as like a porn site if you're just leaning too heavy on that, That's part of the reason why I desperately wanted some variety on my comic website, because I didn't want the only thing people saw on there to be stuff like Oh Girl, because I'm that's not only what I do. That's not the only material that you can find on burningstarcomics.net. You got to have some variety and shake it up. At the very least, balance it a little bit. Balance each genre rather than committing super hard. Some people are recommending DeviantArt. I don't like DeviantArt. I never really liked DeviantArt, if I'm being completely honest. Just a lot of shit. As kindly as I can possibly say this, there's just a lot of shitheads on there. By that I just mean like mean people. There's a lot of like trolls and just nasty people being nasty to each other and nasty ass comics. Ugh. I've never seen a comic that I liked on DeviantArt. Never in my life. So I can't imagine that they have the best track record as far as finding good comics. Maybe Webtoon thinks all the degenerate stuff will bring more publicity. Nobody talks about Webtoon. Part of the reason why I started doing the Webtoon read-throughs is because nobody was talking about it. Literally no one. It was complete dead silence. And then one day I started making some videos about like these super shitty webtoons, and then everyone else started doing it. If you go look at like the time periods when I made those very first videos of me read-throughing webtoons, within the same month, other people also started uploading based on the same thing. So it's like nobody was talking about it until a certain point of time. I didn't see anyone else like reviewing webcomics at all. And at the time I was thinking like, oh, I'll start reviewing some webcomics every now and then. But it was so hard. It was so difficult to find a good webcomic. There's so much trash. And so I decided, oh, you know what? I'm going to make videos talking about the trash instead, and talking about how frustrating it is with all this garbage webtoon stuff on there. And then that blew up. But before that, nobody was talking about it. No, it's like maybe on forums people would list the top 10 worst webtoons, right? But nobody was really spreading a whole controversy about it. Nobody really cared. And yeah, so it's just one of those things. I don't think it has anything to do with the publicity. I think they just have low standards. They don't care about their reader base. They don't care about like the mental health of them or anything like that. They just want those clicks. They just want to be titillating and check all the check boxes to get as many clicks as possible. Bury the past. DeviantArt is a wild jungle. Best not to use it unless you are catering to certain fetishes. Yeah, right. Fair point. Yeah, I don't know. I still think maybe the best thing is to just start your own website for your webcomic. Or actually, there's this other... What about Comic Fury? I know some people use Comic Fury, right? And I've heard fairly good things about that website. Not that they get a whole lot of, attention over there, but there's nothing like that wrong with it. you know. But yeah, I still even then I still kind of think maybe the best thing is just like either having your own website or posting it on social media, like Twitter or Instagram or something like that, or Facebook even. But I don't use Facebook, so I still would kind of prefer that as opposed to webtoon tapastic stuff like those, you know. Underappreciated Dannphan, pioneering martyr of webtoon reviews. Ah, jeez. It's like when I started reading some of these webcomics and some of these webtoons, I was doing it with good intentions. I swear. I was. I wanted to do some legit reviews on some webcomics out there to see, like, oh, maybe this is something to look at. Maybe there's like some up and coming talent coming from all these webcomic places. And then I just got bombarded with all this crap, and I'm just like, no. And it kind of depressed me. I'll be honest. But then I tried to like do a good spin. Like, all right, let's try to do a positive spin on this, and instead make a video talking about the crap rather than trying to find something decent. Never heard of Comic Fury? Oh, I thought that was more popular than it was. I mean, like, it's super old school, but I remember people talking about it like crazy. And if you go to the website, it looks like it came from the early 2000s. Like, it doesn't look like it's changed its design at all. But people have webcomics on there. There's a good bit. Have you read Tower of God? I don't remember if I've ever read it, actually. I know that I saw the first episode of the anime, and then I was like, no. And then I stopped watching. Yeah, Boyfriends was definitely an act of charity. Yeah. That, once again, it's another webtoon that, like, I didn't see too many people talking about it, but then all of a sudden, as soon as I do a video on it, I'm like seeing it pop up everywhere, and I'm thinking, did I cause this? Did I do some domino effect where everyone was like, now that Dannphan has attacked Boyfriends, it's okay for the rest of us to do it? Am I like the test to see if it's okay to go after these shitty webtoons? But it's entirely possible that I just never noticed the videos beforehand. I don't know. I think in your first vid, you even say that you don't want to get mean about any of it, even though you are aware that hard criticism sells better. What is that in relation to? Oh, I don't know. I don't want to be mean to the creators. I'll say that much. I just like, when I really don't like something, I want to make it as clear as I possibly can. Because there's always going to be people out there that are going to be like, oh, you didn't give it a chance. It's like, excuse me? Fandoms are hard to deal with. I'll say that. And then I'll retreat from that conversation. All right. You should do a follow-up about the webtoon with the gay love triangle. That wasn't a gay love triangle. No. That was a polyamorous relationship. They were all dating each other. And I gotta be honest, I'm not sure if that's worth a follow-up. Because I think I get it, you know? I don't think they're gonna throw any real plot twists at me when it comes to that webcomic. I think I know what they're going for. The anime is super rushed. I can imagine, but like, I thought the anime moved slow. So, like, it was one of those weird things where I feel like they were trying to cover a lot in like a few seconds. but then the overall pacing was slow. It was weird. I didn't, like I said, I looked at it and I was like, no, I can't do this right now. You know how it is? Like you need a certain amount of stamina for that type of stuff. I don't think it was you that started the boyfriend's hate. Clownfish TV talked about it before. Clownfish TV did a video on it? Let me look about that. I didn't know that they... That's weird, because I'm subscribed to them. I didn't see them do a video on it. I remember seeing a shitload of ads for boyfriends. So, like, a boatload of ads for boyfriends. And, you know, I looked at it and I was like, God damn. You know, because it was just so obvious what audience they were aiming for. And I thought, oh, well, I should do a video like reading through that. I don't see a video where they talk about boyfriends. They might have like mentioned it in an offhand comment, but I don't know. You know, one of the problems with YouTube search nowadays is just the fact that they don't show you actual search results anymore. Like the first few videos, they'll like show you something vaguely related to what you typed in. And then after that, it's just all algorithm shit. It's just all fucking algorithm crap. So I can't find what I'm looking for. If they did do a video on boyfriends, it's not showing up. There's a bunch of videos they did like vaguely about webtoons. But I mean, I've done videos about webtoons as well. It's just like one of those, yeah. Here to support. Thank you, Mark Schaefer. Thanks for the $10. Very good of you, man. To be fair, I notice you are fair with your criticisms. Well, what's the most entertaining is your genuine reaction to the horrors. Comedic ad-libbing. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the only way you can get through those comics is if you, like, try to joke about it, you know? Because otherwise, it's just, like, pure pain. Oh, God, the pain. And there are some comics out there that, like... Okay, so there are some comics where they're bad, but they're funny and fun to make fun of. And then there are these other comics that just really just really poke me in the wrong places, you know? Just like absolute frustration just to read. And those are a little bit harder to poke fun at. And then there are the other ones that are just boring. And of course the boring ones are hard to poke fun at because you got nothing to work with. But yeah, those are usually the two that are like more difficult for me to get through. The funny bad ones, I can at least work off of the fact that they're so awful. But, you know. Did you hear? Some people are getting harassed by others that play Hogwarts Legacy. I heard something like that. I did hear something like that. I have not gotten any really harassment towards me live streaming it. None that I've seen, anyway. No, I don't think Adam would read it aloud. Or maybe he would. Just poke fun at them. That game is such a weird... It's such a weird controversy, isn't it? Because it's like, she's not involved with the game, right? But also, they did so much to try to appease the crowd that was upset. They're adding in all these LGBT characters in. They added in, like, the trans character super late in the game. Sure, but still in there. And then so much diversity, just whoosh, right into the game. And they don't really touch on the topics, as far as I've seen anyway, through my playthroughs. I mean, I get it. She's getting the royalty checks, but that's true of anything Hogwarts. She's going to get royalties on anything Hogwarts related. it's not. You know. They did so much to try to please the crowd. It didn't work. And now it's like, whatever. I guess they made their money back anyways, because it ended up being like one of the top sellers on Steam, right? I don't know. Just seems like so much over nothing. So much energy to waste over something that's not like your cause, if we can call it that. Your cause is not being effective. Like, complaining online is just not always how you get something done. You gotta be more strategic if you want it to fail that bad. But it's whatever. Isn't it annoying how they got rid of oldest first? Now it's newest and most popular only. Yeah, it's garbage. There's so many bad changes to YouTube that's just mind-blowing. Like, why? Why did you take something that worked and made it go bye-bye? Oh, guys, you hear that the new person in charge of YouTube is different now. New face. No more Susan Wojcicki. I can't pronounce her last name. Wojcicki, whatever. Oh, thanks for the $10. Alex Mass. Would like you to do more reviews of older manga comics you really liked? That's interesting. You know, I do have quite the collection. Just like kind of scattered around, I guess. Maybe I could look into some of the first manga that I've ever read and do some like reviews on that. Could be interesting. There is this one that I thought was very curious. Like, so there's this one manga that I found in the library, like the high school library, years ago. Oh, actually, I guess there's these two manga that I found in the school library. And like I read one or two or whatever they had of the series, but they never had the whole series. And then later in my life, as I grew, matured, I picked up the rest of the series and I figured out how they ended. And so I thought maybe that would be an interesting video to like tell you the story about how like I found this one of the first mangas ever read and like give you a little review about what I thought about the ending and stuff like that. It could be interesting. It's nice every now and then to talk about things that you don't hate, you know? Or things that you're just relatively interested in rather than super over the top. Hey, thanks for the $5, Robert. Just got your comics Getting a Job and Orgasm Girl 1 and 2. Delivers so get some of her comics. Oh, yes. Trisha Kafari delivers so get some of her comics. I don't know why I read that awkwardly. Thank you. Thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. Ah, man. It's good to hear that people are enjoying it. Ooh. Definitely going to have to like kind of crank up the speed that I'm putting out the comics because like I think I've mentioned it before in another stream, but the current comic that I'm working on finishing up now, it's a collaboration comic. But even more so, it was something that was already basically done last year. So I had it all planned for that to release like last year. And now I gotta like finish it all this year instead. And so everything gets all moved around. So it's a little bit close to the last comic. It's not like Getting a Job will kill you, but you know, it's not too close that I think it would affect sales. I'm spending like a month promoting this. On the 25th, I'm going to announce the next project and maybe spend like a month or so before I finally launch it. So hopefully that'll be good. You're ever gonna get rid of that hard wooden chair? I can't get rid of the chair because Adam likes it. And there's nowhere else to put it. There's just like not enough room. There's not enough space. I have to put up with it. It is what it is. But yeah, I could at least get a pillow. It would be at least a little bit helpful. Be interested in the Dannphan origin story? Man, that's a long origin story, I gotta tell you. It's a long story how I got here. Not always the most interesting story. I know I said this on Twitter, but thank you for watching my review of it. And it's not like getting a child will kill you. Nope. Problem. Thank you for doing a review. Do you know how hard it is, like, as a comic creator, to get anyone to, like, actually review your comic or tell you what they thought about it? It's rough, let me tell you that much. Getting people to talk about the comic and acknowledge its existence in general is in of itself like an achievement, you know? Because you want to put out the comics that get people talking about it, and then you keep on generating that interest in it, and hopefully sell more copies. So it is very important to like get reviews out there. So it means genuinely a lot. Thanks you for the $2, Love to Draw. I got my signed copy and it's great. Keep at it. Thank you. Woo! Would you review your comic? I would. But I don't think anyone would be interested in hearing what I have to say about my own comic. Because obviously it's going to be like, in this scene. So funny what I wrote. Yes. So genius. Yes. Yes. I have done commentary videos on the Burning Star YouTube channel. And I thought the commentary videos were interesting. But I've only done that for like, I guess, one comic. I could do more of those, but it's, how interested are you in like the making of, where I just like go through the comic pages and tell you a little bit about like, oh, and this is what I was thinking when I was writing this, and there's all that art. You see that art there? I messed up that art. I messed it up, and I hoped nobody would notice. Oh, so you Dannphan, you know. Any advice for us aspiring indie creators? Well, first of all, thank you for the $4.99, Daniel. Advice. There's a lot of different advice I could give, I guess. I got a whole like Dannphan's advice video series, and granted, I have not added to that video series in a while now. I should pump out more Dannphan's advice videos, but I guess the first and foremost advice I can give you is you gotta get it out to people to read. Whatever you're making, right? Whatever you're making, make sure you get feedback on it first, especially before you overcommit to it, because you don't want to commit to something that's not as perfect as it could be. And then you got to make sure that like the people who are giving you feedback, they're being honest with you. You don't want yes men. Definitely not. Oh God. You know, I wrote a story, like a short story in high school, and I had someone read it, and man, they were just really. I had a few stories in high school where I would have friends read, and almost consistently they were always like, "It's perfect. Don't change a thing. You know, it's amazing." You know, I look back at those things I wrote. Let me tell you something. They weren't perfect. They were certainly not amazing. I would even go to say that they were almost perhaps Webtoon levels of trash. But you know, live and learn, so to say. But I think the most valuable thing really is just getting that feedback and improving. As far as getting out there, the valuable thing for that is social media and making sure that you're posting and letting people know that you exist. And that's about all I got to say for now. As far as just general advice, of course, I do have the Dannphan's advice series. Feel free to look at those videos and see if I cover a topic that you wanted to learn about more, maybe. Yes, getting a job behind the scenes. I'd watch a behind the scenes commentary. I do kind of like commentaries myself, or making of videos. I've watched basically every Disney making of video, and they're always so fascinating how they made those masterpiece movies. Always so good. But I don't know if I'd be nearly as interesting for making of videos. The video that I did do for a commentary was Absent Minded, which is a free comic on Burning Star Comics. So it was an easy one to do a video of. I guess I did do like some speed paint commentaries because those are kind of easy. Let me show you what I'm dealing with here. I didn't upload too many videos in general on the Burning Star Comics because it's such a pain running multiple channels at the same time. And I get it that it's more like organized this way, but the moment that I stop being consistent, just my views, my numbers just plummet, and it's not motivating at all. I can tell you that much. But yeah, the first video that I ever uploaded on this channel actually was the Absent Minded commentary, which was a web comic, I guess technically a web comic, because originally I had it on my like Patreon only, specifically for like those subs to go check out. And then at some point I just put it on the website burningstarcomics.net for free so that people could read it. Although, it's obviously not the best work I've ever done because it's super old. Yeah, but I've also done like the speed paint commentary. Did Ellie the Eliminator speed paint. That's nice. I did this animation on my own. Very simple one. This animation I commissioned. Then we have another speed paint commentary. More fun stuff. Obviously, unboxings. Another animation. Halloween Hazel. Yeah, speed paint commentary. I would be down with doing like more commentary type videos. I'm just not seeing as much interest in it. Classic Disney, right? Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, of course. I know how they make the new ones. That not nearly as impressive how they make the new ones. Do you find the characters that are insufferable with the shaved part of the head annoying like I do? Yes, absolutely. It would be fine if they were good characters. If they were at least nice. If you could make a character with a shaved side head, at least a nice person, it'd be like, okay, I'm down. Because now it's at least a little different. At least a little different that way. But no, they're always the same fucking character. They're always the same character. I'm a tough girl. I don't play by the rules. I'm gonna punch this guy just because I feel like it. Like, stop it. Yeah, we're done. I also don't like the haircut in general. So I've kind of, even though I'm doing like a cyberpunky style comic with Sonic City Witch, I've kind of steered away from that haircut. Is because I just don't like it. I mean, like, you got the guy who's kind of got the mohawk going on, but I didn't want that haircut on any of the girls. I was like, I'll pass. I think we can handle like bob haircuts instead. That's close enough. That's also kind of sci-fi with the bob haircut. Bob haircut is like kind of classic sci-fi, right? Anyway, Unqualified Comics. When do you think Sonic City Witch issue 3 is coming out? Interesting question. So I'm not sure if I should say this because I don't want people to think that I'm committing to this timeline here. But I wanted to do the campaign in October of this year. Whether or not I can do that is a whole nother question because I kind of rely a lot on how fast the artist moves and how fast I can move, especially when I'm already doing this other comic. Like I mentioned, I'm doing the art, all of the art for a current comic that is a collaboration project that I was supposed to get out last year, but I couldn't do it because my hard drive died, so now I had to push it to this year, and then everything got pushed, So if everything was going hunky-dory, I wouldn't be working on that right now. I would be done that. But because things aren't going yay, I don't know if I can push it out to October. But the issue, the digital issue, would come out the month before the campaign, would be the idea. So, like, you build up hype on issue 3, and then you're like, hey, before issue 4 comes out, you want to pre-order, like, the print on Indiegogo or wherever, and then people start ordering that, and that helps fund the rest of the project, which is always important because I've been in the hole with Sonic City Witch for a while now. I'd like to see some of that money back. But yeah, so it's hard to commit. Definitely issue 3 is coming out this year, though. There's no reason why it would take much longer to finish it, unless some tragedy happens, God willing. As far as the campaign, though, it might be next year, depending on when issue 3 comes out and how prepared issue 4 is. Because I kind of want to have a little bit of issue 4 ready to show before the campaign, which would be a month after issue 3 comes out. Because you're kind of piggybacking off of issue 3 to do the campaign. But yeah, so it's a complicated thing right there. In general, having a schedule pushed around by outside sources kind of forcing your hand is really irritating, especially with someone like me who's like trying to be very organized and punctual with everything. I love punctuality. It's so good when things are on time. It makes me feel good. But outside sources, some things you just can't control. But it will come out this year, regardless. And it'll probably be around that same time. Even if the campaign isn't that time, it'll be around that time. Probably after this summer. I think having it ready for the summer might be pushing it. So it's probably going to be a little after the summer, around the fall. But yeah. So that hopefully gives you some idea. It's a shame, like, averaging out, like, only an issue per year. But, it's not that bad. At least I have, like, one series still ongoing. And it's a mini-series. It's only going to be, like, 4 issues. So, originally, it was just supposed to be one book that just pops out all at once. But I saw the opportunity to split it up, and so I split it up. And I think it is A-okay. Yeah, by the way, good luck on your future 200-page manga style book. Your art is improving. Thank you. Love to hear it. It's very important that my art improves, because if I'm going to commit to doing art on my own, oh boy, it better be good. I know that, like, in 5 years, I'm going to look back at it and be like, ugh, how could I put out a book like that? Even now, I'm looking back at Ellie the Eliminator and I'm like, it's just not good enough. And it's like super cartoony. So there's no reason to be that obsessed with how it looks. But it's a little bit of OCD, maybe just a little. But yeah, the manga style book is probably going to be more like 150 though, rather than 200. Because like where I have it now, it's about 100 pages. But I was thinking about adding in more pages, and then maybe I'll look over it again and take some pages out. Who knows? But yeah, those are all drafts that I have for it now. There are some pages that like I had added in some like panels that I changed. It's all gotten lost with the hard drive, so I have to redo some stuff for that one too. But I've been working on the manga style book that I mentioned. I've been working on that one for a while. That's been like a background passion project, you know? But when that comes out, that's going to be really fun. I wanted that to be kind of a long form series where like it has story arcs and, you know, the manga style of things where it's kind of shonen jumpy. But man, so much time needs to be dedicated to it. So because so much time needs to be dedicated to it, I want it to be like a whole book ahead where like I would start off with just drafts of volume 1 and volume 2. And only when I was done sketching out and drafting the pages for volume 2 would I even start inking volume 1. And I did start on volume 2 on my old computer. That's completely gone because I didn't share those pages with anyone. So I once again got to start from scratch. Man, bad luck. Just very bad luck. Like I said, everything just gets pushed when you get one thing off of the schedule. But that's gonna be a good one. I definitely have high hopes for that one. Whenever that comes out. Maybe if I'm lucky, I can get it out next year. I like it. I like the sound of that. Yeah. Next year, do my manga style book, at least get out volume 1. I think what I would do is like kind of do a very comfortable 3 volumes and just like just wait and see if you take the bait. It's like if there's enough interest to make up for the work that it takes to do each story arc and to actually make it a long form series, because my god, it's just so many pages that I'm gonna have to be doing. It's a lot of content per volume, and if it's not selling, then it's probably not going to be worth it. But if it's up to me, I think it's worth it. It's just the problem with making sure that people are interested. People actually want more, you know? But yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the next collaboration project is also kind of going to be manga style, but not really. What I'm going to be doing for that one is going to be kind of like this, where it's black and white inside, but it's a floppy. And part of the reason why I decided to do it like this is just because of the size of it. I didn't feel like it was thick enough for a perfect bound book. But it's going to be like roughly double the size of It's Now Like Getting a Job Will Kill You. So it's going to be a thick floppy. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be more equivalent to the size of the Battle Maiden Knuckle Bomb floppy. If you know what that book is. Yeah. But yeah, black and white, kind of anime style art. Not chibi. It's not going to be chibi like this, but it's going to be more detailed, a little bit more anatomically correct, so to say. But still, still a bit of Western influence and a bit of my own style to kind of shake it up, not just make it a carbon copy anime cut paste type thing. But that's kind of what you can expect for the next project that's coming up. But I'll be announcing that officially on the 25th. And I'll show you the cover for that on that day as well. We can start building up hype. And I'll tell you the release of the campaign. Yes, I am doing a campaign for that one. I'm not going to dig into my own pocket to print it like I did with this one. Doing a campaign for that one. I got like tiers ready for it and everything like that. And hopefully you'll be interested. Hopefully you'll want to buy. But anyway, that's an hour. That's Friday with Dannphan. We're done. Woo! I feel like I accidentally jinxed you when I said you'd be unstoppable. Yeah, right. Oh God. It's another thing to add on to my bad luck list. Moving out. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, guys. That's a Friday. That's a whole discussion, a whole couple of discussions, I guess. I got to go eat and figure out if I can use this dresser, if I have to take it back, and all the other stuff, crazy stuff happening this year. But I'll keep you updated with the next project coming up. I am excited for that one. It'll be really refreshing to do more comics with my own art. And maybe hopefully like kind of try to prove myself like I can do this. Yeah. Or at least I can do it good enough. Close enough to being good. Yeah. We'll keep it fairly modest. I'm not the greatest artist on the planet, but I've had people say that like they really like my art. So that was like a refreshing compliment to get. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on another Friday. I had a lot of fun talking with you guys. I can't wait to talk to you for the next Friday, huh? But till then, I'll see you guys. Bye.